For the update, just a quick update about the health of the church. There are 8 cultural components. If you've never been to Intro to Village class, you may not know this, but there are 8 cultural components that we strive here at Village to achieve really in everything that we do. And I think over the last 6 months together, every single one of them have been evident, maybe not to you, but it's something that we strategically strive to do. And I just want to lay them all out just in case you haven't been to a meeting, and then we'll kind of go in the business side of things. The first thing that we strive to have is biblical fidelity, where we would say it's our job to declare the scriptures, not edit them. And I pray that that's said each Sunday we meet, that it's not our job to hobby horse off the Bible, but we just want to declare it and preach His word. And I pray that that has held itself true through the life and through this last 6 months here at Village. The next one is gospel centrality. We would say the gospel of Christ is everything to us, and we want it to be evident all around us, and we want it to we want to slam it down people's throat in a way. We never want to lose sight on gospel centrality, and we hope that that has been evident as well. We laugh often and hard here would be our third component, and we've seen this throughout these last 6 months where we've had fellowships, we've started small groups, we've had youth food fights, we had kickball with the young adults. We just have a great time living hard and laughing well and just having a good time, and that's something that we strive to do here. And then we want to say that we're family focused, and we've strived to be family focused with starting family services, and our next one's in October, the end of October, and we'll have another one in November and actually December as well, just because of how the months fall. And so we strive to be family focused, and then we've strived to be a family expecting guest. This last 6 months, we've started a welcome team and tried to improve just being Village is a welcoming church, but just trying to be a more welcoming church and seeing the need and taking the lead. But the next 3 are kind of what's probably been most evident and what will be most evident in this kind of quarterly update, and that's we strive to have missional hearts. We believe that the Bible tells us to go reach the world, and that is something that we've seen evident in this quarter. We strive to be joyfully generous, and we believe it truly is more blessed to give than to receive, and we believe that has been evident in this last 6 months. And the last one is we believe that we want to have ambitions as big as God's promises. So what does that mean? That means we don't want to have small faith. We don't want to be small faith thinkers. We want to be thank that God and know and trust that God is going to supply His need. And so as we get into this, I just want to first off start by saying thank you. If you're a member of this church, thank you. Thank you for taking a risk on my wife and I and allowing us to come and help lead this church. And it's been a blessing this last 6 months. But also thank you for your generosity and just the willingness to give. Village is not funded by anything other than the people in the seats, and we don't have an organization that feeds, that funnels money to us. Everything we have here is because of God's sovereignty and God's power and God's will for us, but also the generosity of others. And so thank you for that. And I just wanted to start by thanking the Lord ultimately, but also thanking you. And so a couple slides here that we'll see. The first one is our cash flow. You'll see here we started high, typical for January, and then we're going down a little bit, and I'll tell you why that is here in the next couple slides. I know automatically like bank accounts aren't supposed to work that way. There are some reasons, and so we'll get into that. But overall, I think this slide shows us that the Lord has supplied our needs, and that we have about 4.5 months of how we currently spend in reserves, which is always a blessing. That is probably about right where you want to be, 4.5, 5 months of reserves. And so the Lord is meeting needs, and the Lord is paying bills. And so what a joy that is. The next slide will give you a little bit of spending versus offerings totals that I think is helpful for you to see. Light gray is spendings, and dark gray, I believe, is offerings, yes. And so if you'll notice, summer months are typically a little bit bigger in spending, typically a little lower in giving. That may be vacations and travel or different things of that nature. People are coming and going a little bit more often, but it's also heavier in expenses. And we'll get into some of why that is here in the next slide. But it's summer months. There's a lot of activities going on. We have a church anniversary. We have more and more events. Bills are a little bit higher in the heat in the summer months as well. And so overall, there's our spending verse offering. And you'll notice that we had a couple larger gifts in June, and really was an answer to prayer in my heart, just coming here and just the uncertainties of that, and the Lord just like solidified that this was of God and that He was working, and so we're so thankful for that. We're obviously thankful for all the generosity here, and so the Lord is blessing there. August we did hit a low month, but we also had some higher purchases as well. But the next slide, if you go to the next slide, it'll kind of show you a little bit of that, some notable spending. You say, what do we spend money on here at the church? Well, here's some notable spendings here last month. We had a roof repair. We had a bad leak that kept just growing, and so we fixed that leak, and then we went ahead and just kind of resealed the whole roof just with winter coming, and we just wanted to be, they were already up there, already paid for them to get up there, and so we said, hey, let's just knock it all out, and hopefully we don't have any issues this winter. We had an issue this summer. Hopefully we don't have any more issues with that, and so there's the roof repair. Church anniversary is obviously a larger expense, especially 10-year, and what a great celebration that was. Remember Pastor Ken and Kathleen coming back and just being able to honor them, but also just having fun together, fellowshipping with each other. It was a great time. Staff compensations will carry a lot of that load. If you remember, we had Riley on staff, and she left 2 months ago, and we just finished paying her this past month, and we're continuing to pay Pastor Ken until the end of the year, our founding pastor, which I think is an honorable thing for us to do. But that obviously is going to increase the spendings versus the giving, because that budget wasn't in there at the beginning of the year. And so I'm just grateful that the Lord has supplied our needs and given us the ability to bless our founding pastor in that way. We've also added more missionaries. We've added 4 new missionaries, also 1 more church. We're supporting them, and so that obviously is some notable spendings each month. And we'll have a Mission Sunday here in a couple weeks. We have a meeting this Tuesday, and then we're going to have a Mission Sunday and just celebrate missions with you, and I can't wait for that. I know our missions team can't either. And then we've started some security on the building. We've installed some cameras outside. We've changed some locks and just tried to secure this building as best as we could. And so just trying to be good stewards there. I think through this, you've seen that we're striving to be ambitious, but good stewards at the same time with the funds that God gives us. And so we don't want to shortchange God and hold things in because we don't know if He's going to supply or not. We want to trust that He is. And we've tried to do that with as much wisdom as we can. The next slide is offering comparison. Fiscal year 21 versus this year. You'll notice in May we had a larger gift last year, and in June we had a larger gift this year, and we're tracking a little bit lower, but I will say we have some who give kind of quarterly or seasonally, and those numbers actually will about average out, and we're just tracking a little bit lower, maybe $1,000 lower each month than last year, which is a healthy spot to be, especially with a massive transition that we took with founding pastor to this new young buck who, what's he going to do? It's a healthy place for us to be, and so I'm encouraged by that, and I hope you are too. And so I will say this as well. We're in the process of evaluating our spendings. Even this week, I spent a lot of time just printing off forms and evaluating what do we spend here, trying to set a more accurate budget for next year, and trying to just be good stewards with what the Lord has given us here. And so I'm excited for that. I'm excited to be done with it because I hate numbers, but it's been a healthy process. The next slide, I'll try to hurry, is our mortgage equity position. If you did not know, we have a mortgage here. It's about $4,700 a month that we pay, in our equity position is about 39%, which we feel is a healthy spot to be. And we have about 8.5 acres here, obviously 620, but that's paid for. And so here we're about 39% equity position. And so we praise the Lord for that. We'd obviously love to not have that, but we praise the Lord that bills are paid and the Lord's providing those needs there. And then 3 more slides. One is attendance. We didn't have accurate information for 2021, but we'll get there. But there's kind of how we're tracking on attendance. It's not about numbers for us. but that's healthy to kind of see how we're doing, to weigh some different things that God is doing here. And then the next slide is touch of the gospel. It's hard to highlight all that God is doing in 6 months. But just a few. We had a kids' night, spent some money on that. Great time, 9 visitors here at the end of the summer. Riley, that was kind of Riley's last powwow, her and Brett together. That was a great time. And we had some donut outreaches that we were able to get some donuts and actually go bless those in our community, whether it's fire departments, police departments, the gyms, different gyms and Kroger's and different things like that, to bless those in our community. We developed a missions team. And so, like I said, we'll have a missions team coming up here soon. If you haven't already, go look out in the lobby, and they've made a wall for our missionaries. It's not completely done, but it's going to be awesome. I'm so excited for that. Obviously, we're helping One More Church, supporting them, and that plays a part in the touch of the gospel that we have a hand in. And then OCC, Operation Christmas Child, we've enhanced that thanks to Diana and Carrie, and it's been a blessing to play a bigger part in that, and it's been fun and exciting to see how you've even jumped on board there. So there's some touch of the gospel. And the last slide is this, staffing and vision. I added this in here because some people ask me about every week, what about the new hire? Riley left, what are we going to do? And just to be transparent, we're kind of just in pause mode on that with how things are going. We just wanted to see, we didn't want to jump to a hire. We decided after we announced we were going to hire, we decided to pull back the reins and just evaluate what exactly we need here at Village, but then also evaluate the budget and see what can we afford here at Village, what's the wisest thing for us to do here. And so we're kind of in a holding pattern, added a little bit more stress on the staff here, also some on the elders here, but we're team players and we're excited for what God's going to do, but that's kind of in a holding pattern there. 620 update, it's listed, and had some viewings this week, and so you continue to pray for 620 and the Lord's will there. We'll keep you posted on that. Like I said, Mission Sunday, all family services coming up here, and of course Vision Night coming up here in January. And so God is meeting our needs, and that's essentially the quarterly update. And so we would say this: if you have any questions, come talk to me, come talk to one of the elders after the service. If you want a copy of this document that you see here, don't ask me because I'll forget, but I would love to send it to you. If you send me a text or an email or something, I'd love to send that over to you.